It still hits me like a blow to this day. It hits me deep in my gut because in that particular moment, I finally realized the only place I couldn't be replaced was in my home. And my home was getting the worst possible version of me. It was getting the leftover, the angry, tired, short fused version of me. And no raise or no LinkedIn applause or shiny job title was worth the cost of losing the real me. Hey, beautiful soul. Today's episode isn't going to be cute. It's not going to be tidy. It's not going to even be one of those like 5 steps to fix your life kind of talks. This one is raw because it's from my heart. And it's probably going to sting, but it'll sting in all the right ways. Because what I'm going to tell you today is about the decision that changed everything for me. Not just one decision, but 3. 3 moments where I felt like my soul was just whispering and then it started screaming. And eventually, everything started dragging me by my ankles toward the life that I was actually meant to live. And the truth, the hard truth, is that I didn't even listen. I didn't listen the first time or the second time. It wasn't until finally where I just crashed, right? I crashed hard, that I finally stopped pretending that I was fine, that everything wasn't good, right? And I finally admitted something that I had already known. I was living this life that looked completely successful, but really I was just barely surviving. And I was paying for it with my body, with my health, with my presence, and with my joy. And worst of all, my family was paying for it too. So we're going to be real in this episode. And if you are running on fumes, if you're snapping at your kiddos and you're sobbing in the bathroom between meetings, this episode was written for you. Now, I want to paint a very clear picture for you. It's going to be very real, very painful, and it's probably extremely familiar. Wake up, rush through the morning, grab a protein bar if you're lucky, but usually nothing. You log into back-to-back meetings. You try not to cry. You're holding back those tears when your to-do list seems to quadruple before 10 a.m. You're forcing yourself to smile. You're holding space for everyone. And worst off, you're saying yes when you actually know in your heart you should say no. You somehow make it through the day. You clock out only to clock back in at home. You're forced into full-on mom mode, dinner, homework, laundry. And by the time you actually get to sit down at the end of the day, you're completely numb. Or if you're like me, you're eating ice cream straight from the container because it's the only damn thing that has quieted your nervous system all day long. Now, I wish I could say, I hope this isn't familiar for you, but I know it is. I didn't just have burnout. I was the face of burnout. And if you're like me, I kept telling myself it was just a season. It was, once this next quarter ended, once this promotion went through, once the kids got a little bit older, then I'd be able to rest. Then I'd be able to finally reset. Now, I hate spoiler alerts, but I'm going to give you one. That day of rest, that day of reset, it never came. And do you know what finally woke me up? It wasn't a podcast. It wasn't even a book that I was constantly trying to read or at least listen to. It was the look in my husband's eyes when he quietly said, "I miss my happy wife." It still hits me like a blow to this day. It hits me deep in my gut because in that particular moment, I finally realized the only place I couldn't be replaced was in my home. And my home was getting the worst possible version of me. It was getting the leftover, the angry, tired, short fused version of me. And no raise or no LinkedIn applause or shiny job title was worth the cost of losing the real me or missing my kiddo's childhood in the name of hustle. So what happened? I crashed, like for real. My body said, you know what, Shannon, you are done. It was wild. I had adrenal dysfunction. I had gut issues. I had hormonal chaos, and not just because of perimenopause. I had brain fog so thick that I couldn't even string a sentence together. I was exhausted and I was still wired at the same time. Completely mind blowing experience. And I finally got to the point where I couldn't even fake it anymore. My body had been whispering. My soul had been nudging me. I needed that full on collapse to finally listen. I couldn't shut it out anymore. And in that collapse, something completely wild happened. For the first time in years, I could breathe, I could feel, and I could finally hear my own damn thoughts. And guess what? When I finally listened to what my body and my mind had been saying all this time, I finally listened. They weren't saying to push harder. They were saying, come home to yourself, to the real version of me. So I did. I stopped saying yes to everything. I stopped feeling guilty for finally resting. And I stopped shrinking and pleasing and proving. And I started something better. I started setting firm boundaries. I started prioritizing my health. I started finally choosing presence over performance. Now, I started finally asking myself the true questions that I needed to be asked. What do I want? What do I want for the first time in decades? Now, you're probably listening thinking, did this come easy? Was this simple to do? Hell no. And I still work on it every damn day. But I am worth it. My family is worth it. And darling, you are worth it too. So let me tell you about this full circle moment. Last week, I stood on stage as the keynote speaker for the Connect Advanced Lead Conference with the Accounting and Finance Women's Alliance. I absolutely love this organization. It's all about women's empowerment, lifting each other up, leading and guiding the way. Now I got to stand in front of them. Me, the same woman who used to sob in silence and who used to scream in guilt. I delivered my talk. It's called The Clarity Fueled Leader: How to Stay Purposeful, Present, and Powerful, even when you're exhausted. And friend to friend here, women were crying. I saw the look in their eyes. I saw me 5 years ago in their eyes. They were me, overfunctioning, undersupported. They were successful on paper, like we all are, but they were so empty on the inside. One woman came up to me afterward and said, "You just told the story that I've been scared to say out loud." And that is why I created my business. That's why I created my programs. And most of all, that's why I created my Clarity Core app, because this is not just about me. This is about us. This is about the women, the high achieving women like us who are running homes, running teams, running companies, while silently running themselves into the ground. We need real support, not surface level self-care tips, not more productivity hacks or fancy planners that you think you're actually going to use this time. We actually need permission to stop this damn cycle. and finally reclaim our clarity. We need tools, real tools that actually help us reset our nervous system, help us regulate our hormones, and finally feel good again in our minds and our bodies. So now, how about me now? I'm not perfect, but I am present. And that is what truly matters. I lead my team with confidence. I coach with my heart completely out on my sleeve. I take my kids to their appointments without even checking my email. And I hug my husband without resentment behind my smile. I'm finally in a body that feels like mine again. I'm nourishing myself. I'm hydrating. I'm moving. I'm giving myself permission to rest. And I am not apologizing for any of it. This version of me is not a people pleaser anymore. This version of me protects her peace. She speaks up. She makes bold moves and unapologetic pivots. This version of me, she shows up on purpose. And I want that for you too. And I know for a fact that if you let your inner voice, your heart voice actually speak up, you want that for yourself too. So here's my invitation to you. Download my Clarity Core app. It's in your app store. Search for Clarity Core. It's free. It's powerful. And it is finally the starting point that you need for your reset. Inside, you're going to find all the amazing tips, tricks, tools, everything that I wish that I had had for myself when I was starting my journey to find the real me again. You'll find my free Clarity Masterclass. You're going to find hormonal health tools, a burnout recovery blueprint that you can start using immediately. I've got amazing templates for time blocking and scheduling and figuring out where your energy is leaking out of your body. Yes, there's journaling prompts, everything that you can have to be successful on this new journey. Nervous system resets. Ladies, it is time to lead and live our best lives. And like I said, there's more things that I wish somebody had handed me when I had hit my rock bottom. There's no fluff though, just real support for real women like you, those high achievers who are done pretending that everything is fine. Now, if today's episode hit you in the heart, please share it. Send it over to the strong friend who's also starting to break. Somebody that's on your heart, somebody that you hope can get their life back together as well. Send it to the mama who's always putting herself last on her own damn list. Send it to your sister, your team, your group chat, because no one is coming to save us. But you know what? Together, we can rise. We can reset. And we can finally remember who the hell we are. I love you. You are amazing. And you are worth so much more than you are giving yourself permission to be worth. You're not broken. You are just burned out. And you are not weak, my friend. You are just done living on autopilot. And if you're like me and you need someone to actually say it out loud, let me be the one to say it. It is safe to choose you now. You don't have to earn your rest. You don't have to wait for permission. And you don't have to crash like I did. You just have to decide. One decision. That's all it takes. Are you with me? I'll see you inside the app. And I am rooting for you every single step of the way. And if no one told you lately, you're not too much. You were just never supported enough. So let's change that starting right now.